Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent Bailey. And at the tech booth, Jody Cook-Bailey and Luke Cardiel. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. And now, Brent Bailey.
And welcome to Season 3 of Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. Hi, everybody. It's Brent Bailey, and you are here on the premiere episode of our little podcast that started back in March of 2020 at the beginning of COVID. And here we are starting our third season. We took a little bit of time off, and it was such an awesome thing to do. Right now, I'm joined over at the tech booth by Jody and by Luke. And
hey, everyone!
I can't believe it.
Happy 3 years! It's 3 years.
Season 3.
It seems like it's been 3 years.
But we're coming up on a year in just a couple of months. We're going to be a year old, and that's hard to believe. That is.
It is.
What started as just a little let's get on and say hi to everybody because I know everybody's kind of freaking out.
Yeah. Exactly.
We actually, because COVID was just starting to happen, and I called our guest today. Mm-hmm. I called him and I said, "Look, everybody's kind of panicking. Nobody knows what to think. Let's just get on and say hello to everybody and just speak some encouraging words." And lo and behold, lightning got caught in a bottle that day, and it really took off. So our guest today is Dr. Increase, Bob Harrison. He's going to be on with us. He's going to be with us for the next 3 shows, talking about how to make 2021 your year of fresh increase. We're going to talk about his upcoming conference in Hawaii and lots of things. But anyway, that's coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's the shows are increasing more and more.
They are.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You like that?
Just getting ready for Bob. That's all we're doing.
That's right. So, but today is a big national day.
It is. It's National Florida Day.
Woo!
Happy Florida Day, guys. Yeah, whoa.
So today is the day that all the craziest things happen. I'm just
in Florida.
No, everywhere.
All the alligators and snakes all stand up and salute, and
all the crazy Florida man stories that you hear.
And all of the tourists come out like crazy.
Yes, it is February. I mean, almost February, and so that happens.
We start getting that rush of people.
Well, I did notice when we were at Disney Springs the last time, just a few days ago, that normally about this time of year, there are a lot of folks from South America that are here because that's their summer vacation. Yeah. But because of the travel restrictions and stuff, it's not so.
Right.
When you walk around Disney Springs, it's a lot of local Orlandonian people, Floridians.
Yes.
And there are a few people coming down because there's a lot of specials and things going on. But today is the day our state gets celebrated, the Sunshine State, and it's that name for a reason because in the middle of January you can still walk outside and it's 75 degrees. So
right,
at least here. If you go on south down to Miami and all that down there,
warmer.
It's a lot warmer.
If
it's
you go
80
north,
degrees.
then it's usually
colder.
going to be colder.
Yeah, Jacksonville sometimes it gets snow. So
yeah.
Anyway, happy Florida Day, everybody,
yes.
And we're so excited to have you with us on the show today. All right, what else is going on today?
Well, today is also Irish Coffee Day.
Whoa, all right then. Maybe we should have Rory O'Callaghan.
I was going to say we need to
come and be with us today.
Irish coffee. I mean, what's funny is my dad once ordered an Irish coffee years ago, and he said, "Can I have an Irish coffee with a decaf? No, not decaf. An unleaded Irish coffee." And he's going to get mad at me for saying this if he watches. But that's pretty much what makes an Irish coffee is coffee, Irish whiskey, sugar, and cream. Well, if you take out the whiskey, then it's just coffee.
Yeah. Well, they actually make Irish cream flavored.
They do. Creamer. And it's so good. I always get
No, it is not.
I like it. I like it.
Not for me.
I like it.
And I'm a Bailey, so no. I've never been a big fan of it. It's not very good.
Give me the French vanilla or the hazelnut, all day.
Or the caramel macchiato or whatever.
Those are good, but I personally do like.
Well, what is your favorite way to take coffee? Right, just let us know in the comments below.
Just let us know
with
that.
an IV. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
With an IV.
I'll take it by IV.
These days, yeah. Today is also opposite day. So,
So it's not opposite day?
Well, you and Luke are just doing the lousiest job in the world over there at the booth.
All right,
Yeah,
bye guys.
It's opposite
like that.
day.
See you guys.
What that means in SpongeBob logic, see, you're really doing a good job over there. It's opposite day.
We used to, as a kid, play It's Opposite Day. And I think there was a show on, I almost said Netflix, Nickelodeon, they did it. Oh, it's Opposite Day. And
It's a SpongeBob cartoon.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
back
it is,
when we
yeah.
were kids, they would do it. Yeah.
Well,
Way before
if
SpongeBob
it's
was
opposite
even- Way
day,
before.
then you're supposed to say it's not opposite day.
Exactly. So it's not opposite day today. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a little bit confusing. So with that,
It is a little bit. It is a little bit
It
confusing,
is.
but anyway,
let's move to the next one.
Awful opposite day to you.
Yeah. Have an awful, it's not opposite day.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
What else? There's something else.
Bubble wrap day.
Oh man, we could spend hours with
We
that. couldn't
could. Our kids love bubble wrap. As kids,
This is how bad it is, folks. There is an app called Bubble Wrap
Yes, there
that
is.
you can sit and push the screen and pop the
Okay,
bubbles.
I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I played with it some growing up. I mean, everybody always
Yeah,
popped.
yeah.
But to have it a Jones
day?
for it that bad that you have to have a day for it
For it, yeah.
and pop for it on your phone is.
It's fun.
It's interesting.
But thank God that it was invented because it's protected many a packages
yes.
from being destroyed.
Yes.
So happy
Bubble Wrap Day to those
Yeah.
who enjoy that.
Yeah, we're not celebrating packaging peanuts. Only.
Oh no,
No,
those
no,
are
no.
that's the
Yeah.
devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get everywhere.
Yep. So those are our days.
All right. Well, on this day in 1905, the world's largest diamond was found.
Oh, cool.
Don't get any hints.
Next month
Don't
is
get any hints,
Valentine's Day.
Jody. It is coming up, I know, but this thing weighed 1.33 pounds.
Wow.
So I mean, think about that. 1 pound
Pounds.
diamond is huge.
Yeah.
So it was found in 1905, 18 feet below the surface. So can you imagine just owning the farm where that was at, and they just dug in and there it was?
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
You're set.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. So that was this day in 1905. Now, here's some other big news. This is big, folks, especially because, we like to talk about food on here. This is big. Chick-fil-A today is rolling out a brand new sandwich.
Ooh, tell us about it.
Well, Chick-fil-A kind
Jesus
of...
made a new sandwich?
Exactly.
Jesus did.
Exactly. We've said it on here before. Everything was fine until Popeyes decided to compete with the Lord's Chicken, and then everything went south. They have now got at Chick-fil-A a spicy grilled chicken sandwich. So,
Okay, with or without pickles?
I mean the picture shows cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. So I'm sure that it's just your normal grilled chicken sandwich, but now it's spicy.
grilled, spicy.
So I mean, I don't know. I've always loved Chick-fil-A for just what they are. I mean that basic chicken sandwich is as good as it gets.
It's good.
So I don't know. Have you ever tried the grilled chicken sandwich there?
I think
grilled
I
one?
have.
No.
Yeah, it's decent.
I don't
Their
know.
grilled chicken bites or nuggets are really good.
Popeyes is way closer to me,
Oh,
so
come on.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you need to repent and come and seek
Let me
the
go
Lord.
to the altar.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bow down and ask God to forgive you.
Yeah,
for that.
I had a Popeyes chicken sandwich within the last week, so I'm
Well,
sorry.
It's all right.
Well,
it's all
To the
good.
viewers, I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
You'll be okay. You'll be all right. So, okay, well, that's
We all fail sometimes. We're human.
speak for yourself. All right, so, all right, that's what's going on around the country. Let's expand your search. My guest today is making his return like General MacArthur. He said, I'll be back, and he is. He was our very first guest on the very first show when we were just kind of trying to spread positivity throughout the negative impact that COVID was having on our country at the time. It still has been a heavy impact, but we've tried to bring you some positive, uplifting messages throughout the whole thing. And when we started, I couldn't think of anybody else that would be better than our guest today. He was my first guest, and now he's the first guest of Season 3. Please welcome back to the program author, speaker, motivator, businessman, and coach. Give it up for Dr. Increase, Bob Harrison, everybody. Welcome back to the show, Doc. It's good to see
good
you.
To be with you, man.
This is a vastly different show today because both of us aren't doing this off our phones.
That's right.
We've actually upgraded here. So
yeah, we've come a long way. Now we have a studio camera, teleprompter, lights, and you've upgraded the same thing. And it's amazing when you just get a hold of something, you never know for sure where it's going to go, but it doesn't go anywhere if you don't begin. And I'm just so proud of you for beginning this program and just thinking all the lives that you've impacted over these last several months and the people that you've encouraged. And I was so honored to be your first guest because I love to kick off things that are going to be great.
Yeah.
And
we just didn't have any idea that it would take the traction like it did. But man, it's been every show since has been trying to measure up to that positive impact that first show had. So first of all, I know we were just out there with you over Christmas time and got to spend a great number of days there just relaxing at your house and then of course at Brian and Jenny's house, and it was just a great time. But tell folks that maybe haven't seen you for a while, how's everything been going in the last year?
Remarkably well. I was traveling over 100,000 miles a year. My American airline card just had crossed over the 9 million mile mark.
Oh my gosh.
And all of a sudden, no meetings.
Yeah.
And so what do you do? But I just realized that, life is full of those unexpected times, and it's those that can adjust quickly to change that can succeed. And so we quickly changed over to from live to doing more things online and connecting with our partners by doing our weekly nuggets that we send out by video. And it's really been a good year for us effectively. As we're reaching more people than we've ever reached before, but doing it in a different way.
You said something right there that's, just in the small chit-chat introduction, though, it's those who adapt to change early. That's a powerful message that a lot of folks, they just let that go right over their heads and they miss out on things that are changing. What's your experience in that?
I think it's one of the keys to leadership is having a discernment of when it's time to stay and when it's time to change. Sometimes we say, hang on and don't quit. Well, that could be the worst advice in the world because you hang on, you don't quit, but everything's moved. And so we have to be adjustable to change. And two examples that come in my mind from the Bible is number one in Kings when God said to the prophet, go by the brook and I'll give you water and send the ravens. And he had all of the needs met. And then one day the ravens stopped coming and the brook dries up. Well, the prophet could have easily said, well, I'm just going to stay here and change and wait for the ravens to come back and the water to come back. But no, his success was changing from where he was at and going to a different place. And so that to me is a perfect example of the way we sometimes have to be with our life. Another one that comes to my mind is in Luke 5, where Jesus told him to take the boats back out, but he said you have to go to a different location, a different time, and a different depth. And so as a leader, we have to constantly be asking ourselves and praying about, Lord, is this a time to stay and to hold, or is this a time to move and to change? And that decision can be the difference between success and failure.
Now, of course, everybody that is familiar with you, you're known as Dr. Increase around the world, and we've been telling folks as you're getting ready to come on that we were bringing you on to talk about 2021 being a year of increase. I know that there are some things that you're kind of saying, and really kind of prepared yourself for this kind of increase this year. So what would be the first thing you'd want to say to our audience to to make this a year of increase for their life?
Well, one of the things that I recognize that for this year to be great, I had to make it through last year.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes success is just in surviving and figuring out the best way to hang on and to survive through a negative season, knowing that that season is going to change. And so one of the things that Sharon and I did, we became very defensive. At our age, we have to be more defensive maybe than other age groups. And so we became, more restrictive. We did our mask wherever we went.
Mm-hmm.
And just because we recognize that on the other side of this negative season is going to be a super incredible positive season, but it's only going to be available to those that arrive. And so I think really part of a success in life, in any arena of life, is we have to realize that defense is not a negative. Life is not just made of always being on the offensive and achieving, but sometimes it's protecting and preserving and making sure we're going to last. I think, Brent, of Paul Bear Bryant. I wish I could come up with a Kentucky quote, but
well, let me stop you right there. He was the football coach at Kentucky before he was the football coach at Alabama.
Okay,
there you go. So you got it. You got it.
Okay. Well, at Alabama, he was there 25 years, and I think it was 6 national championships. And he made this statement. He said, offense sells the tickets, but defense wins the games. And I really think that there's a positive to having that defensive mindset. And so I have that in every arena of my life. I even when we negotiate for our hotels, for a Hawaii event or whatever it might be, we start by saying, how do we protect ourselves from the downturn or losses? And we think of that before we think in terms of how do we maximize our income. So every area of my life, I think of defense. And I think that's one of the keys that is successful for us and gives us multiple season success, which to me should be the goal of all of us. It's not to be a success in one season, but a success in multiple seasons. And that doesn't happen if we're not thinking defensively.
Now, you said something there that's really powerful, that you actually build yourself for the defense first and to prevent the loss before you look at going forward. Now, some people would look at that and think, well, man, that's just being, you're preparing for the worst. Some folks would tell you you're not in faith. Other people would say that that's negative. Why go that direction first?
Well, Rupert Murdoch, who's a billionaire, owns 200 newspapers or media stuff, whatever it might be. He said that's one of his keys to success. He said, I always anticipate the worst, but prepare for the best. And it's a very unique balance there, because we can get so focused on the negatives and what might go wrong that we get frozen in place and we never achieve anything great. But on the other hand, if we're not thinking what might go wrong, when something does go wrong, it takes away years of growth and income and profitability, and could maybe even wipe us out. So to me, we have to have that balance, between the two. And so I always look at, all right, what do we do to minimize our loss in order to maximize our income? I can remember getting a real great home loan rate one year because it was variable interest rate. And I said, oh, this is really good. I got a great low rate. And then inflation hit and the economy went in a nosedive, and I was paying 20% on my home loan. I said, okay, next time I get a home loan, I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to protect myself on the downturn. And so I just use it in every area of my life. We have to think defensively.
It's some people just don't like to talk about it, but negative things are going to happen around us. The challenges that happen, and it's the ones that you don't prepare for are the ones that do the most damage. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, I try to anticipate what those might be, figure out how to protect ourselves in those areas. But I do that always focusing on increase, always focusing on growth. I'm not doing it in a negative, fearful, type of thinking. I'm doing it in a positive type of thinking because I want to have sustainable increase, not one season increase. And I think that's a key part of it.
Now some folks would agree with that, and they're doing that, but then there also is that unknown, or the ones that they don't identify, they don't see coming, that they how do you prepare for something like that you don't know about? this last year is a great case study in that.
Yeah. Well, a part of it is I anticipate in advance the areas that might go negative, and I try to prepare in advance to keep myself strong in those areas. I don't let myself get run down physically in normal times because I always want to have reserves. I don't let my gas tank below a half a tank normally because I want to have reserves. So I try to have emotional reserves, physical reserves, spiritual reserves, so that I have the ability to bounce back and to make it through whatever negative situation that I might face. And you're right. You never know what they might be. Boom, something happens that's totally out of your control, out of your power. And the ones that are going to survive and last are the ones that respond quickly, but the ones that also have the resources to make it through the negative seasons.
So the reserve, building a reserve into your life, whether it's emotional or physical or financially or whatever, what are some keys to doing that? How can people start doing that?
Well, you have to look at each area. Physical reserves. You try not to guard your rest, guard your strength. I take 20 supplements a day in order to keep my immune system strong and to help myself in that area. Exercise every day. I have converted my golf cart garage into a exercise fitness center. So those are some things I do physically. I have praise and worship and personal spiritual growth time every day, reading my Bible every day. So try to keep myself strong in that area. So I try to find every area where I might be vulnerable, and I try to give myself strength in advance in those areas so that if something comes along, I'm not on empty. I have something I can draw on in order to continue and fight that battle.
That's so good to have some extra so that you can go through the hard times. It's outstanding. So before we wrap up this first show, Bob, I know that some folks have read your book. A lot of folks have a copy of the book, but it's called PowerPoints for Success. And we wanted to show it to everybody because it is it is something that has really changed a lot of people's idea of what a devotional is. It's not really a biblical devotional, but it is a personal devotional that they can read every day.
It's a book, Brent, that I wrote for leaders. And one thing I notice about leaders that separates them from a lot of other people is that leaders value time. And they're always looking for some way they can get something quicker because they then use that time for something else. And so I said, what if I could get a book of biblical leadership principles and do it in a format that leaders can get it real quickly? So we put together 101 Bible-based success strategies, and every chapter is 2 pages. So a leader can read it in 3 or 4 minutes, and grab something for that day. And we have different subjects that they can pick out, so they can look at it and pick out some of I use a personal super achiever story in each one of the 101 chapters, so they can look for the person, they can look for the principle, whatever it might be. But in 3 or 4 minutes, they grab something that they can use in their life.
All right. Now, if you'd like to pick up a copy of Dr. Increase's book, you can actually go to increase.org, and you can pick up a copy there. I believe it's also available on Amazon and a lot of wherever places.
Amazon, Kindle, yeah.
Yeah, wherever books are sold, really, you can pick up a copy of it there. And we're going to have Bob back on the next show to continue talking about Increase for 2021, because it is absolutely imperative for you to get the reserve that he's talking about built up in your life so that you can face things that don't come. Bob, before we let you go in about 30 seconds, do you have any closing thoughts for the audience today?
2 Corinthians 10:4, the weapons of our warfare. 6 of them are defense, 1 of them is offense. Again, the Bible shows us the importance of thinking defensively. And think in terms of lasting and continuing, and think in terms of being a multiple seasonal success. And I believe that God will bless you. I believe this is going to be a great year. I'm looking forward for wonderful things to happen, not just for me, but for those that stand in faith and keep positive and keep believing God to direct and guide them.
All right, everybody, that's Dr. Increase. He's going to be back with us on the next program, so sit tight with us. And now let's take a moment and stop for directions. Listening to Dr. Increase talk about defense today reminded me of a story in Genesis where The Lord gave Pharaoh a dream, and he had to have Joseph come and interpret it. And the Pharaoh's dream was that there was going to be a famine, but it would come after 7 years of plenty. And Joseph was able to discern and actually play defense by preparing for the worst that was coming. And that's something that the Lord gave him, that strategy. And I know that so many times we always want to look for this great silver lining, that everything's going to always work out. But really, sometimes there are just things that are going to happen that we just can't control. We just don't have any say in the matter. They just happen. But what we always have a say in is how we handle it. And if we prepare ourselves when times are good, we're always playing the defense then. Then when the time comes, we're able to shut down the hard time and live right through it the way God intends us for us to have. I hope you embrace Dr. Increase's words today, because defense does win championships. And I hope that you remember that today. Join us next time, because Dr. Increase will be back with us, and he's going to be talking a lot more. He's going to talk about positivity and generosity and making your 2021 absolutely what it is supposed to be. Don't hesitate to prepare yourself to handle hard times ahead, but know, with the Lord's help showing you, you can and you will overcome. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. I'm so grateful to Jody and Luke for another great broadcast. I'm so grateful to Dr. Increase for coming and being with us today. If you'd like to get some more information on him, you can sure go and follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Dr. Increase. That's Dr. Increase. Follow along, get updates on his ministry, and allow him to speak some encouraging words into your life. Until next time, I hope you found what you were looking for as you took the time today to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram, and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We are available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.